Hosts, are you leaving money on the table?
In today's video, we're going to go over the top 5 marketing mistakes Airbnb hosts are making and what to avoid.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
And I'm Annette Grant. And together we are
Thanks for visiting.
We've been hosting for well over a decade, welcomed tens of thousands of guests, and earned thousands of 5-star reviews.
Our portfolio continues to bring in over 1.5 million year over year, and supported not only by the industry's leading brands, but also some of the biggest media outlets.
And we're here to help you with your furnished rental.
What do we mean by that? If you're, let's say, for example, really, you decided that this is your year to rock out your Instagram account for your property, and you are going hard. I mean, you are spending time on reels, carousels, posts, you're showing up in stories.
Collaborations,
oh my
influencers.
Gosh. You're doing all the things, but you're not tracking how it's actually moving into bookings, i.e. cash money for your property. You might be wasting a lot of time and money. You have to track what you're doing to see if it's moving the needle towards more bookings to make it worth it.
You might be spending a lot of time working on your listing and tweaking it inside Airbnb, making changes to your title, to your description, to your photos. But if you aren't tracking the analytics behind it, you're never gonna know what works.
So, and we suggest too, so like, let's go back to the Instagram example. So get yourself a spreadsheet and put like, maybe it's over a week. So let's say, I don't know, January 1st through the 7th, and then what you did that week, and then what your impressions were. Did you get any bookings that were directly related to a code you had your Instagram followers use? Like, how can you be sure your efforts on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're at are actually going to conversions? You have to just know, otherwise it's probably not worth your time.
Exactly.
Listen, competition is fierce out there. And I am living proof of this. It is not enough just to have I've got a beautiful property. It is decorated with, modern decorations. Like, it would be something you would see on any like interior design blog or what have you, but it's really not special enough, because I've got another similar listing just down the street, same amenities, same what have you, but it's got its own brand. It's a condo building, and each condo is designed after a woman in history. So people love following in, they love being a part of that brand and being part of that conversation. It's not kitschy, but it's just different enough that property outperforms the one that is beautiful, but it's just a nice property. So you really have to build a memorable brand if you want to expect to stand out in today's marketplace.
And when you're creating that brand, it needs to be consistent throughout the whole experience, from when they are looking at your listing and online with this amazing design. Again, we'll kind of go back to the women in history. So yes, that's in the design, but we can use that in the copy that we write, the stories that we tell in the guidebook, even in the amenities that we offer. So if you can continue that consistency and that uniqueness throughout, you want to give your guests something that is shareable, something that they can also be proud of when they are putting on their social media handles where they are staying.
Absolutely.
You can't set it and forget it. Even if you have the most amazing property, even the ones that we're just talking about are outperforming other properties, you better believe that we are in there tweaking and making changes.
So you have to update your listing. Give yourself a cadence that you can stick to. So whether it's every month or every quarter. We actually, in our membership, just had someone ask us, well, I host a lot of properties. I can't do them all at once. There are some bulk updates or bulk research that you can do if you're using a PMS, if you happen to be a co-host or an owner of a lot of properties. If not, say property 1 through 3, you're going to tackle in January. Properties 4 through 6 is February, and then 7 through 10 is March. And then you start the whole cycle over again, because you will find things in your listing that can be updated for the season of the booking window you're in, or you find out that the software actually changed a setting that you had set. You got to go back in there and reset it again. You just have to make sure that you are presenting the listing that is bookable to that potential guest and giving you every possibility to change that looker into a booker.
And this is where consistency matters again. You want to set up that calendar reminder to go in, change, take a look at your listing, update it. Maybe you have new amenities, but this is also where these marketing mistakes is, again, not being consistent in all of them that we're talking about.
What does that mean, Annette?
Google reviews.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, this has been a game changer for us, again, for so many people inside our membership. You have got to be collecting those reviews outside of just Airbnb. That way, when you have your direct booking site, or even if you're just doing midterm rentals, you have proof that people, testimonies from guests, they matter. I'm sitting next to someone that looks at reviews. Every single restaurant we go to, every single place we stay, they matter. And so if you're only collecting them inside of Airbnb, if someone is trying to book anywhere else, they're not going to see those. And these are easy for you to get. We're going to tell you how to remedy that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So you obviously don't want to ask this review via the Airbnb chat. What you can do is if you use any sort of messaging platform, like we use a specific messaging platform to talk to our guests, we ask them there for a Google review. We make it really simple. We actually give them the link that will take them right to where they can literally write in the words that they want to use to leave their review. If you have been thinking about starting a direct booking site and you haven't yet, this is a great first step to start building a reputation on Google and getting people to say how great you and your hosting business is and giving you that confidence from Google.
And again, this is consistency. Slow and steady wins the race. You're not all of a sudden going to have 100 Google reviews, but each one matters. So again, you want to suss out how did the stay go before you're asking for that Google review. But if you've had an amazing stay, that you're more than, that guest is more than happy to most likely leave you a review on Google. So again, just take it guest by guest, review by review, and they will build up over time. I'm raising my hand right now because I have done this before where you open your doors, you've got everything's rocking and rolling, and you think it's great. It's like, wait a second. You cannot become some crusty, dusty listing. You have got to make sure you are upgrading amenities, making sure all the towels, all the linens, all of your amenities, your couch, everything is fresh and new. You can't just design it once and then all right, that's good to go. You need to know how you're going to stay ahead of your competition. You need to shop your competition. You need to go on just like a potential guest would, see what's going on in your market. I mean, we are staying on our toes. People are opening their doors every day.
Left and right.
And they are, with each person, the game up levels, and we welcome that. Hey, we want that, but we want to offer that to you, that this is not a set it and forget it. And a lot of times when people come to us and say, my listing's not being booked, my profits have severely declined, we take a look and we're like, when is the last time you've reinvested in your property? You are a small business. If we were to go up and down Main Street anywhere and we would go in to look at thriving businesses, we would look at that small business owner and ask them how they've been reinvesting in their businesses. And I bet you the ones that are doing the best are reinvesting, staying on top of the competition. You have to do that. Again, it goes back to consistency. You constantly have to be improving and staying ahead of the other host in your area.
Let me give you an example. So Annette and I own a townhome together, and she was starting, it's like, why? She's so cute. It is fresh.
She got lots of 5-star reviews.
It's not crusty dusty. What is going on? And so we used the software Price Labs, but I could have easily looked on Airbnb and just seen who is literally, what are listings that are around me that sleep the same amount of people. And what I found was we had a queen bed in one room. We had a trundle bed in another bedroom.
Because we were trying to save money when we first opened. We're not going to lie. We're ballers on a budget sometimes.
We bought a furnished Airbnb off of we actually managed this property for someone else. We bought it off of her. It was performing pretty well. But like Annette said, the competition was up-leveling, and we weren't up-leveling with it.
But we did up-level our kitchen. That's why we had to,
and that helps
pause
with
on some other things.
It helps with sales price, which is also important. But we noticed that that the people who also were able to sleep 4 people, well, we had a queen bed in one room, a trundle bed in the other room, and we were competing against people who had king beds in their properties. Okay, so the one room where our trundle bed is super tiny, so we couldn't do 2 kings. We just literally couldn't do it. But we upgraded the one bedroom to a king and the other bedroom to a queen bed, and immediately we had an uptick in interest and bookings, and we were able to track that via our Airbnb performance dashboards on our insights. And it's this kind of work that you have to keep doing. You have to make sure that your property isn't getting buried by the new people coming in and leveling up in your market.
Right. And so when we're saying these are marketing mistakes, That is the marketing mistake. You are not showing, you are not up-leveling and showing guests what you have for them. So take a look at it. You can do this. We've been talking to hosts all over, and they are all doing redesigns and refreshes. And these are homes that maybe just opened to guests, 2-3 years ago. Make sure to check out our other video on other ways you're losing money. We got to stop losing money here, so check it out.
And with that, I am Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are
Thanks for visiting.